All right, everybody, welcome back to 100 Proof Whitetails. Hopefully that was seamless. We're still learning the whole layout and how that works with everything. But yeah, so this is episode number 59. I know we're talking about trying to do something big for the 60th. We missed last week, but we're off and running tonight. Um, Had a whole bunch of good topics to talk about, a whole bunch of stuff that's happened since last episode, and new plans going forward with the rest of the stuff this year. So,
Yeah.
just gonna check on the audios, the stuff this year. So, perfect.
Intro
Yeah,
sounded good.
yeah. No, dude, we were jamming. The intro came out phenomenal. Outro's good too. So, we're figuring it out little by little. We're figuring it out. But we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. First of all, current events. We'll talk about those. If you made the invite, Norris Party Saturday. I know you said you're going to be there.
I'll be there.
You're sweeping off our net loss. I was down here mixing up some seed.
I thought it was cat litter for a second.
That's the filler. Which actually, that's a good tip. We'll talk about cat litter and how that can be a fill later. Um, but anyway, Norris Party's this weekend. She turns 1 year old. I can't believe time flew by like that already. And then we got to get over to your place. You said we got a few hours left to tighten up the boulevard extension.
Yep, tighten that up. And one other thing, there
The newsstand.
I'd like to clear out the one end of the bedding. The newsstand again, that can get done whenever.
Gotcha.
We can move that whenever.
What end of the bedding? The east side hill.
The south, yeah. The
We got the map up here, so we can.
this because it actually comes
Right about up to the edge of it.
to where I'm accessing. So if I got a straight west wind and they're bedded in here, I feel like I might bump them.
Yeah.
So I would almost like to clear this section out so they don't want to bed in there and force them down a little bit.
Well, or we just put some better cuts down and
So when I add,
put some better cuts further down halfway.
which little bit of cool. I guess it just kind of happened by happenstance. I was trying to get Owen to fall asleep, so I drove around the block, and I think I forget what it was, Sunday or whatever. It's like at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was driving down the road, and I see this deer running down the hill from
Piece to the north. Yep.
yeah. So this deer, so I slow down. No one was coming. I pull over and I'm watching, and um, there's four of them, and they come down and they saw me stop, and they all stopped and they're staring at me. Which that's a good across that field, probably 300 yards.
I was gonna say 250. Yeah, I'd say so.
So they stop and they're staring at me, and I'm watching them, and I want them because I figured they got bumped or something, being that time of day or whatever
Sure.
when it was, and I wanted to watch them and see where they decided to lay down. Because I could see everything. I could see all
With
the
the
pine
snow on
tree
and
with the
everything.
snow and everything. I could see them walking through this whole side hill. So when I'm watching them. I'm so far away and different time of year.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't seem to pay any mind to it, and all of them bedded by their own individual pine tree.
So they all got up under some cover and.
They all got up under pine tree and laid down. There's like a thicket of pine trees like right in this section.
Yep.
And they came down here, they swooped in, and they
Kind of up and where we
stopped here.
found that doe that one time.
Yeah, and they walked, and then two of them might have laid under one pine tree, but there was like three or four different pines that they all just kind of disappeared
Scattered
under.
into.
I thought that was kind of
A little bit of thermal cover and stuff.
cool to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, watch them bed in there because I've always been a little curious of what really goes on in this
Mm-hmm.
lower part, but
Well, it's tricky to hunt. I know we got the new north end stand that's going in over there. That's going to be the fit for there. We actually were talking about where Nate's killed his bucks in what 20? What'd you say? 21, 22, 24?
2020, 2022, 2023.
Or no, 24. The middle was 24.
Middle is 20. Yeah,
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 because
it's
23.
24.
Yep.
And
This is gonna be 25.
25, I'm thinking, is going to be over here.
Calling the shot. So he's calling his shot. He's pulling the Babe Ruth, calling his shot. I kind of called it for him, but I think he is gonna have an opportunity at a good one down in there. Um, yeah, we could do that lineup. We could finish out the Boulevard, which is up here in this western block of the property. I know it might be actually it shows up pretty damn nice on the screen there, dude.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching on a TV, if you're watching on your phone, it might look like a little half inch by half inch square. But um, Dave Todd commenting in says great intro. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate the comment. But yeah, so we got that. I've been out doing some habitat cutting for a couple clients. Did a little bit of cutting at our place up around Topfield, really. Shot a couple videos with Hannah, so I got one more that I'm gonna release for that. That's gonna be dropping Sunday. I had it scheduled to drop. Nate went through tonight and scheduled all of our videos to drop for our short clips for YouTube and everything like that, and all the pages. So those are scheduled until what'd you say, March 10th?
Mm-hmm.
Next 2 weeks. So
You'll be seeing them pop up on your feeds.
we're trying. We've been busy with everything. Yeah, but we got a big project coming at the farm. Bunch of stuff to dig into there. I know we talked about it in the description. Dad's list and Ben's list of our never-ending projects that we seem to have. So we'll get pounding on that and do some videos from that and mix in the Boulevard. My family's going on vacation next week, so me and Dad are going to be playing around with the Mini X that we rented. So shout out to Bobcat of the Finger Lakes for all of your mini excavator and equipment rental needs. Gave me a damn good price, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So got a nice E55 coming, so not too big, not too small, nice thumb, two buckets, the works ready to go, and got a couple little ponds we plan on knocking in for wildlife and kind of maneuvering that with strategy and stuff like that, drying out one of the fields so we can actually plant that now, and clearing some trails out, putting in a new trail, a whole new trail that I've wanted to do. So we're doing some of Dad's stuff, we're doing some of my stuff, and then we're kind of meeting in the middle to do some of the extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy said, hey, if you want it for a third week, he's like, we don't book out ahead of time. We only book when it's in house. So if you want to add a third week, we'll add a third week too for this price. I'm like, okay, well, I'll let you know. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so bunch of stuff going on there. I know we're finally starting to see this snow go away. And I think by next Wednesday we'll have probably just about all of it gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a few cameras still out rocking right now. We'll see what's still holding.
I still got all mine.
Yeah, I
I
got
haven't,
a I got a few
haven't
out. I've
pulled
been
any.
I've been pulling them as they kind of die, but we got to get over to the lease and pull some cards. Like you said, maybe we'll find an antler over there. There was a fair amount of spillage in that one field before the end of season, so I don't know how much they finished getting the rest of it cleaned up. But where you shot your doe with the muzzle loader in the late season, that was muzzle loader, right?
Yep.
Yep. So
Which we actually have a video of that.
yep, yeah, the smoke poofing and her running away. Yeah. So yeah, no, the lease. I'm looking forward to the lease this year. We got a couple projects, small things over there. Actually getting the plots knocked in. A couple of these containers that will kind of segue right into that conversation are going to go over there,
Mm-hmm.
plan up some of the trails. So I got thinking on doing, the spring mix or whatever, and the spring mix was a huge success. The spring mix is basically a slimmed down version of the 6-pack mix. Um, the 6-pack mix has 6 different varietals of legumes in it, so it's a nitrogen building mix, spring mix. These are made to be frost seeded, whatever. There's 4 different blends and varieties for different applications, locations, etc. So we got the straight chicory. If you're looking to add chicory into your plot, we have a straight perennial mix, which is a mix of clovers, of perennial white clovers and chicory. And then we have a 6-pack mix, which is 6 different varieties of legumes. And then we have our, what do I call it, nitro something, nitro fix, which has got 4 varieties of legumes in that one, high producing nitrogen, more of a biennial kind of a crossover plot mix. Not if you're wanting to put it in perennials, but if you need a couple years of a a biennial type plot, then Nitro Fix is a good one. So kind of different applications and different scenarios. Available in quarters, halves, full acres, and if you give us your plot measurements, we can put it in the formula and give you exactly what you need for your plot.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty straightforward, dude. So
Okay.
and was able to buy seed in bulk, so I kept the pricing down. 25 for a quarter, 40 for a half, except for the perennial mix because it's heavy in the perennials and stuff like that. It doesn't have some of the annual in it, or biennial in it. That's 30 for a quarter and then 50 for a half. And then price goes down the more you order. You're ordering in between. Um, we'll figure out the pricing accordingly with a little sliding scale formula. But perfect time right now going into March for frost seeding.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably end up. Are you going to frost seed a little bit into the field again this year, or are you going to let it ride one more year?
I'm gonna let it ride 1 year.
I know well, the farmer said that it was freaking high producing freaking hay this year for
Yeah,
him.
maybe about doubled their production out of it.
hmm
There's still round bales out there.
Yeah.
Well, he was overloaded on hay all around, I think.
Yeah, it was a pretty good year for hay too. It was a good year to be able to get it off and get it baled too. There wasn't a wet
Yeah.
in betweens and stuff. It was like perfect rains.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the spring mix that Nate planted out there is basically the 6-pack mix. Just the only thing that it's got in it now is chicory because the mice ate all my chicory last year, if you guys
Yeah.
remember from the episodes. So there was no chicory in it last year, and there was only one variety of ladino clover in there, or a broadleaf white clover in there. So we added another ladino, um, switched to a bigger red clover too, kind of for some height differences and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different than a medium red clover. So a mammoth red clover is what's in there now. Um, and yeah, the chicory
I
is the
think
other additive.
because in the test we used what, crimson?
Crimson, there was medium red, ladino, and allcyke. I
So
think I had
last
some
year
allcyke I put in with it.
you and me ran
hmm
the test of it.
So the allcyke, I swapped that out for Balança, which is probably one of the best nitrogen fixers per plant that I've found for clover, based on research. So the Balança is what kind of goes in to fill that biennial, multi-year kind of clover fix. The mammoth red, medium red, whatever you want to call that. That's kind of your biennial. Same thing with the crimson. You know, typically we haven't been getting a whole lot of winter kill with the crimson. Um,
I'm
so
curious how the crimson comes back because it went to seed.
and it was all that brilliant, pretty.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's gorgeous, dude.
I'm kind of curious because he was so overloaded on hay this year. He just didn't cut it. It just grew up.
Yeah.
I actually had you come out and mow some of it down.
Mhm. Yep.
So,
So
so I'm
the
kind of curious how much of that
the
actually
nice
comes
thing with
back.
the crimson, I think, is you'll get a fair amount of reseed with that, which I'm okay with. It doesn't like carpet out and overcompete, so I'm not. It's not a horrible thing to have in your plot. And if you want to kill it out, you can spray it out pretty easily. Um, but if you want to keep a nice perennial base, I mean, these are all great options for kind of the in between stuff. If you want to add just a straight chicory, because people were asking me about straight chicory, so I put together a straight chicory option for folks if they want to tune up their clover or frost seed chicory into a plot. Um, and keeping the cost down on that, I think, like I said, it's like 25 for a quarter and then 40 for the half. And again, the whole pricing behind this is the reduce, reuse, recycle. So if you bring your container back from last year, you get $5 off your next purchase. So it's like, okay, it's 25, but if you bring your container back from last year, it's $20.
Hmm.
Or if it's, you buy a half acre this year, but you had 3 containers last year, it's going to end up being, $25 for a half acre because you're bringing the deposits back.
So it's $5 deposit.
$5 deposits each container. Yep.
Yeah, that's a deal. That's better than New York.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Five
So,
cent, $5.
yep. So you get your
Hmm.
nickel back toward your next purchase if you bring your containers back. Um, and we're just using the same containers, that way it's uniform and everything like that. But yeah, so if anybody has any questions on the specifics, feel free to reach out to us, or if you want to get some stuff ordered, all this stuff can go in. now for frost seeding, you can spring plant this as well.
Which we're now that we're getting these warmer days, colder
Oh,
days,
this is going out. This
warmer.
is going out to the lease because we killed that all last year and it never grew.
Yeah. So now you're get your March. You want to get frost seeded.
Yep. Yeah, it's good right now. I mean, the temperatures.
Just watch your highs and lows and temperatures when it's the ground will freeze at night and you get the thaw during the day.
Yeah. So we're gonna get this. I know we got a warm up coming next week. We're gonna hit 50.
I heard 60 on like Thursday. Of course, that's a ways out. But
Yeah, I think it was like Wednesday or something. I saw in the 50s. But no. So
which
again,
leads
but then
into
after that, it's gonna dip back down again. So
we get yeah, we get into some shed hunting, get some steps in.
got to, man. Got to
I'm
now,
excited
but
about
then now
shed
that the
hunting.
weather's breaking, everybody's been getting a hold of me for habitat work and coming out and looking at their property, and it's like, I would have loved to have been doing this throughout February a little bit more, guys, but that's okay. We'll get it. Yeah,
February is pretty rough
they're
with the weather.
talking they're talking
It's
56 on
cold.
Wednesday, but then you go drop back down and you're looking into like the mid to low 20s at night. So that's that thaw during the day, that freeze at
That's
night.
what you want.
That's what you want to pull that seed in. It's only got to go in like an eighth of an inch to a
Yeah.
quarter max. That'll frost seed in really nice. Um,
I mean,
so
most
yeah,
of the seed is like, I mean, for people that don't know, is like the size of. It's smaller than your cat litter chunks.
yep,
It's it's not gonna take much to pull it into the ground.
yep, yep. So got a couple comments rolling in. Yeah, so fair point there too. Depending on where you are, we're getting pretty low on snow. We got a few spots, drift spots and stuff that might still be like a foot, but we got a lot of bare spots opened up now in yards and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
southern facing stuff, east facing stuff. But Dave said I still got 3 feet of snow on the ground. Do I have to wait for that to melt before frost seeding? Typically, I would try to wait a little bit, um,
You could
because what
overseed
you can overseed it a little bit heavier. But what I don't want to see
if
is,
the snow holds too long.
yeah, Dave's your stuff's not too hilly, so I'm not worried about seed wash. Where I worry about it is if you frost seed with snow, you get some sheet washing because the ground underneath still might be a little frozen. Um, I would say let that try to melt down a little bit. If we get some rain in 60 here next week, that'll knock the snot out of his snow, and then I would say maybe frost seed out onto it. But with 3 feet, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be surprised. We keep getting these warm days, and it'll be pretty good. And the farmers have always called it mud seeding too, is another term that they use for the early spring seeding. You can do that time of the year as well. It doesn't have to be frost seeding. The reason the frost seeding is advantageous is because that ground, if you've ever been outside on that cold morning, you see that ground kind of spirals up, and then once it thaws, it retracts back down. And what that does is it pulls the seed up and
When
down.
you're walking in, it's noisy as hell because it all
It's
crunches
all
under your
crunches and
boot.
frozen. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I would wait for it to melt down a little bit. With 3 feet, you might get a little bit of sheet washing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have nice flat plots, I would say that it's a pretty decent option.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and most of Dave's stuff is pretty flat.
Yep. I'll grab. Are we rolling into time here?
Yeah, I missed Tom's topic up above it.
Time. Tom says I need to get in the woods, do some shed hunting and plot expansion.
Make them bigger.
Make them bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing with the Mini X2. Is we're working on a little bit of plot edges, cleaning up some leftover stuff from when we had the ash cut 4 or 5 years ago now. So yeah, kind of a mix of things, but plot expansion. Another good thing you can get done this time of the year, as long as it's not too muddy. If you got low ground plots or something like that, you can get kind of muddy. But if it's high and dry, or you still got some good freeze in the ground or good amount of snow to work off of too, sometimes that could work out really good. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. I got out and did a little cutting.
Yeah, I
Did
gotta.
some work on the extension of the boulevard. And kind of, it was nice to get out there and actually walk through it because, at your house sitting there and looking at a topo map and just going off of what you already know about the property, it it's always a little different once you get out there. And you almost have to kind of adjust a little bit on the fly. But yeah, it was nice to actually go out there and work on that a little bit and be able to get a game plan in my head to go out there and really, just focus a day on it.
Yep.
Now that I have like 100% idea of what I'm in for,
Yeah.
because you don't know everything, going out there. So
Yeah, no, it definitely helps with that. Getting out and ground truthing, I guess is what I call it.
yeah, ground truthing, the
Yep.
way to put it.
So, yeah, you always, and that's why I don't do any for the consulting side of it. It's why I've never done over the phone consults.
Hmm.
Because you got to put boots on the ground, dude. You got to put eyes on it.
Yeah.
You know, it might. I mean, you can get a rough idea from a map, and know where you might want to start doing something or whatever. But until you get out there and put eyes on it, it's damn near impossible to give the 100%, right kind of prescription for what's going on with it.
Hmm.
So, um,
For sure.
but yeah, and then shed hunting. I know we still got a few bucks hanging on.
I haven't pulled my cards and
Yeah.
gotta be going close to a month now. 3 weeks at least.
Well, it's probably been tough to get up on the hill with the truck.
So I don't know. Most of you guys probably saw the picture I posted if you saw it in our story of when we got all that ice of all the dead heads and whatever else I've um, found, I guess, hanging on the side of the barn
Yep.
with all the ice on them. Um, I'm thinking that, I mean, in the wild, they got to accumulate some ice, right? Because there's really not a lot of heat or blood flow going through them anymore. So would that add to the weight to help them knock off? If you
That's a
have like an ice,
little ice storm like we had.
a little ice buildup on them, because I don't think they're getting a whole lot of heat in their antlers anymore. Because there's not,
No blood flow. Yeah, after the
it's
velvet's
done.
off, there's no blood flow.
It's like a branch, so they got to be about as icy as.
Sure, and I'm sure they have some on the outside of their guard hairs too and stuff like that if they're bedded up.
Yeah. So would that add to shedding faster?
Could be the weight and obviously the stress of it.
Yeah,
It's
it's ice
obviously
cold, and
it's
then
cold and
obviously.
damp. Yep. So,
So that got me thinking, watching that, and I was talking to a guy at work about it. I was
hmm,
like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I was like, I would think that if they had some ice built up on their antlers, it would,
sure. Add some weight, dude. Add some.
it would
Well,
drop them,
we had
drop
a
them
we
faster.
had a few branches break out of the maple. Not too bad.
We had some just small stuff,
Yeah, small stuff and stuff that was already coming out. But
but yeah, when I was taking that picture, that was a thought I had. I was like, yeah,
no,
I bet
that's a
it'd
really
be.
cool thought, dude. I wonder. I don't think anybody's ever done any data. If like
what,
once in a while we
will
get
an ice storm speed up the shedding process on a deer?
add some weight on the ends of them, just start hanging little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or would the ice actually on their antlers like bother them to an extent where they would actually start like trying to break it off, and it would
yeah,
actually
hanging
not.
down like a big icicle. Like
Yeah,
he's got a big icicle drop tine
icicle
going.
drop time. He's like, and he tries knocking it off, and he like knocks his antlers off on a tree,
Yeah,
just because it's annoying.
yeah, that's a good point. But like I always say too, I try we try to stay out. We don't hunt shed hunt. I guess it is too many pieces that are like public access or anything like that.
Yeah,
So we don't have to go out there and beat the bush early and try to chase the first ones that drop before somebody else gets in there. It's not like suburban. Like some of these suburban guys have been finding stuff since January,
yeah.
you
Well,
know. But there's dozens of guys that walk it.
yeah.
So
Well, there's also the factor. Not to say that we won't do that someday. Just right now, time is limited.
hmm, yeah.
You got a 1 year old. I got a 2 year old.
And I'd rather be looking for the bucks that hopefully made it through. However, we'd had some good up and
We're
comers that made it through.
we're still
Um,
we're still building homes here.
yeah, I know. Excuse me. I know for sure. Tuning fork. He's shut out on both sides. But
Brian gonna let me hunt him?
I think we need to just kill him.
I think you just let me kill him.
I think we need to kill him
I'll
next
put my
year.
tag on him.
I think we need to just smack him. Um, open up some real estate for him. And we had a couple new 2-year-olds that I got to really look back on.
Send them down to
That might have moved
Dimers.
in. Yeah, he'll probably end up being just like Donna was. He'll probably end up with canines or something crazy.
Big ones.
Big ones, freaking like vampire teeth
Yeah, look like
hanging out.
German shepherds.
Yep. So yeah,
Canines.
I mean that night I shot that doe up there with Hannah. He was in the field behind her.
Mm-hmm.
He
I
was
think you
out
got some
there.
video of that, didn't you?
Yep. Yep. I got that video when I shot that doe. That's in the intro video. If you actually watch the intro video close enough, the deer that's behind the doe that I shot, kind of like behind and to the right, that's him. He was probably about 30, 40 yards past her. I actually had to wait for her to clear him so I could shoot her.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, dude, it's been pretty good. Like I said, we got Nora's birthday coming up. That's Saturday. I'm setting up for that tomorrow. Tomorrow's her actual birthday,
Mm-hmm.
so Nora will be 1 tomorrow. Um, and then for the upcoming stuff,
Runnings.
March 15th at Runnings. I've scored a few deer this year. A couple guys are coming back to the Runnings event to get them officially scored there. I think Caleb's bringing his back. Your buck will be ready. Caleb's buck will be ready. So they'll be there, shoulder, full on shoulder, ready to go. Um, and then I think Ryan's bringing Dylan's over to the Runnings event.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, I think
That
Dylan,
was the most impressive animal I saw all year. I mean,
body wise, the body dude was
I didn't see Caleb's deer on hook, and I didn't see his deer's body,
mhm,
but the body that deer was a horse. That
yeah,
deer was a donkey.
had the rack to match.
Yeah,
Just a big freaking brute.
that deer Dylan shot was a very impressive animal.
Yep. Uh, Caleb,
Caleb's will be ready? Question mark.
Caleb Shoemakers, I know will be ready. I could ask and see if Jensen's will be ready too.
Yeah, I mean he they should be in the same batch, Sam.
I
So
would,
I'm thinking
yeah, that early October
it
batch.
should be. He should be.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in that October batch, so he
It should be
should be
coming up.
coming up.
Yep. But I know Mike took in. Well, that's the problem with the show and our friend circle and stuff like that. We kept just sending. It's like I got to take a year off to catch up, but we just keep still sending him new guys
And I'm like,
and
yeah.
business. So, yeah,
Sam, seeing you're watching, let me know a good time to drop those shirts off. They came in.
yep, yeah, and let me know if the files aren't the right files for you.
Right. Do those
So,
files work?
yep, make sure they're good. Jeff Fox is glad to hear you're coming. Yeah, Jeff will be there. We'll be set up like we were last time. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
scoring, and we'll see if we end up doing any like we might do like some not live, but like record some stuff for like some small snippets of guys' stories or stuff like that.
Obviously with
Permission.
permission.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not just gonna randomly
Yeah,
record you.
sure, sure.
But yeah, and then we got Gary coming down with
The Dilf.
the Dilf
He's
coming
got a whole
down
bunch
with
of bullets and stuff like that. He cleared that with running, so. Oh, look at that. I guess Dylan's will be there.
Dylan got his back. Oh yeah, it looks good.
I think Scott McKenzie did that one. I've seen Scott's done good work.
Mm-hmm.
Scott does good work. I do. I like that freaking tucked away shoulder, dude, with the patch on it. Sam says
What are you talking about?
the like tuck away shoulder, like I got St. Patrick and Hornet done. Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sam said files are great. You can drop them tomorrow evening, or I can get them at Nora's party.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just give him to at Nora's party then.
Yeah, we're all gonna be there.
Yeah. Perfect.
So we're catering it, so I don't have to cook food.
Ooh. Who's what's the food?
Bumbles.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Bumbles is always
Mattoon?
solid. Yep, he's doing another one that day, so he's just making the batch a little bit bigger for the party.
Perfect.
So, yeah. So
Yeah,
saves us
he does good food.
saves
Good
us
barbecue.
a little bit extra because of course we got a bunch of setup and stuff to do tomorrow and
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning. So
Cool.
yeah, but it'll be fun, dude. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing everybody. A bunch of folks we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Other than that, like I said, get out to the Boulevard project. We're gonna have that mini X for 2 weeks, maybe 3. We'll see how it all goes. Um, so yeah, I think that it's gonna be doing a stroke of business over there. I know what I can do with one at like the college. It's the same size one we got at the college, so um,
Yeah, that'll be nice.
well,
You're
and
gonna
it
get a
it
lot of
ends
work done
up,
with that.
if you have the, the, I don't know what you want to call it, the knack for it or the seat time to know how to do it or learn how to do it. Um, it's quite a bit cheaper than hiring out somebody to do it to rent one.
Hmm.
However, I would say if you don't have seat time in one, sometimes it'll be it's not as cost effective to do it yourself, especially if you bury the machine and get screwed up.
Right.
But if you got some seat time on it, that'll definitely cut down on some of the
Well, it looks like we can
costs.
go set up the day before.
Yeah, at least scope it out with a table and not be doing it.
So the
So
14th, we could take a ride down there,
yeah,
get our table set up.
yeah.
I mean, it's really not a whole lot for us to set up,
The
but
only thing I was going to talk to Jeff and Andy and them about is they scheduled it again the same weekend as that full draw show, the Mennonite one that's at the Finger Lakes Produce Auction on Yahtzee Road.
oh yeah, they did that last year, and they
Yeah,
felt like they might have taken a little hit by that.
yeah. I think that took a little bit of a hit, and it's the same again weekend as this weekend. So maybe communication between the two outlets, and figure out what could be done to not have them, you know, necessarily conflict or whatever. Because I think New York State Big Buck scores at that one or is set up at that one or something, and then Northeast
Yeah.
is at the running. So maybe for the future. Obviously, it's not going to change this year, but
No.
that's why I didn't set up at the full draw show, was because the runnings event was already booked on my calendar. So, yeah, but yeah, if we can get over there, you know, yeah, Jeff, let us know what time, or if maybe we'll get a hold of Andy or whatever. I'm surprised he hasn't chimed in tonight. But we'll get a hold of Andy and maybe see what time you guys are going to be over there to do it, and you might swing out and kind of scope it out and get our table over there at least, not put out heads or anything like that, but
Yeah.
kind of do it up, get ready for it. Um,
What else we got going on?
just plugging away. I mean, it's a good time to get out and start running the chainsaw. Like you said about the Boulevard project, I started cutting for some clients. There'll be some more
There
cutting
he
for
is.
clients. There's Bo.
Right.
There's Bo. Bo says, "Let me know if you need help scoring anything. Everything's 115 inches. 115-inch 2-year-olds. Put
115.
it on the next T-shirt.
115.
115-inch 2-year-olds.
115. I lived up to that this year.
Yep. Well, that's I don't think I forget. I know six pack was just under 130. He was like high 120s, and then Dono. Did Dono break 100? I can't
Yeah, I think
remember.
he's like 106, 105,
I didn't even hit
108.
115. He won't even make New York or Northeast Big Buck Club.
No,
Yeah, I don't
maybe.
care. Them
No,
teeth though, man.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but well, especially with like I don't know how they're gonna score it or how they would score it, non-typical or whatever. I'll have Dono and six pack there. We'll probably put him on Jesse's weight rack hanger again. Maybe
Hmm.
put a couple tappers in that and put some better hangers on it. But we could put your shoulder on it and the bucks from this year.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll bring the rack from this year and
well,
everything.
that, and I mean it's probably going to be the only deer there with canines.
Probably,
You
yeah.
know, so that'll be cool to have conversation for folks and you know say that hey doesn't have to be record book, dude. Doesn't have to be 200 inches. He's
My
got a long way to go to get to 200.
my dad just texted me, said, always watching.
Oween.
Oh wait, sup, mister?
Yep. My wife's got Nora upstairs taking care of her tonight, so we're doing the improv show on Thursday because my wife teaches her class on Wednesdays. So making that work-life balance work, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. Other than that, so next week my family's out of town, and then was it 2 weeks? Liza's going out of town? Or no, her
No.
family's going out of town.
Yeah, her family's going to Florida.
That's what it
It's
was.
spring break.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Spring break in a few weeks.
Yeah, I never got into that spring break getaway stuff. I was always working or in school or both.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we never. I guess growing up, we never really did a whole lot for spring break. Maybe a couple years, but I don't know.
I mean, we used to get like February break or whatever. I think they call it President's Week now or whatever.
Winter break.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't know. Kids get a week off every month, and then they get 2 months off now.
mm-hmm.
No wonder they don't have so many snow days. We had snow days.
Mm. Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of snow days anymore. Well, they
I
can do
think it only
remote
had
now.
what, 1 or 2 this year?
Yeah, which is the first 1 or 2 they've had in the last 5 years. But no, so that's the crazy thing. I know Dave mentioned it, but we have stuff coming for whitetail properties like up in Jefferson and Oswego and even St. Lawrence County, dude, where we're under a couple feet of snow still. So we're waiting to get some snow breaks so we can get up there and show ground that folks want to look at, and uh, and also get some stuff, some good photos taken for some properties too, and get them listed. But this is a good time, and I have emails going out to prospective buyers now on this. But it's a good conversation for it. Is using these, winter blues or whatever you want to call them to get yourself if you are looking to buy, a piece of property, or in the future getting yourself set up to buy a piece of property that you're getting your steps figured out, you're getting your financing figured out, you're getting your budget figured out, what you're looking for in a property, where you're looking, kind of get a lot of that stuff beat out ahead of time, so when the right piece comes up, you're ready to go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was actually talking to a neighbor of yours about potentially buying a piece, and it's been on the market now for a little bit, so I might have to call him back and be like, hey, you want to come in on this and get under it, like 30% under asking, and throw it out there and see if we can make it fly? I think we can. I think it's overpriced for what it is, but I think 30% under is about right where it should be.
Hell yeah.
And it's right within the wheelhouse of where they want to operate. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but, and he gets better interest rates. God damn, he told me his interest rate, and I'm like, how do I get that? How do I get my buyers to be able to get that?
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah, well, you do good business, you make good, money on the books. That's what
And
the bank likes to see,
you
dude.
pay your bills, man.
Pay your bills.
They want to see the money coming back.
Yep, they want to see you paying the government every year, basically. Is the long and the short of it to loan you money. Um, so it's actually very hard for a lot of folks that are like self-employed and stuff like that to show the money on paper. You know, because again, the tax man hits independent contractors and sole proprietors, whatever you want to call them, like the hardest out of any of it. So again, I get it. You want to write off as much as you can with stuff. So, but it's tough when it comes time to buy a house or a piece of property that you got to show it on paper
Yeah,
and pay the government. But supposedly there might be a $5,000 stimulus check coming around. I've just heard rumors.
I've heard rumors.
I've heard rumors.
I could use 5 grand.
Well, hey, a couple mortgage payments,
Yep.
groceries for a couple months.
Samantha says only one snow day this year.
That's it.
Yeah, she works at Midlake School.
That's
Teacher's
right.
assistant or teacher's aide or something.
That's right. Yep. So I don't even know if they do remote days anymore. If they actually went back to the old traditional snow days, I don't know.
I doubt they do remote.
I think that was just a COVID flare, and a COVID thing, and that whole COVID thing is gone now. Gone.
It's
Fly
just
away.
gone. It never happened.
Um. So what else on the current events? Oh, our winner from the giveaway from the Sip and Stroll stopped by and grabbed their basket, and they didn't realize how much stuff was in it when I gave them the box.
Well, I mean, was she like kind of excited? I know
Oh
she
yeah.
didn't hang out longer.
Nope.
She was like, "Wow, this is cool."
No, we sat and talked on the porch for 5-6 minutes or whatever.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah.
Sounded
So
like you were making it sound like she just showed up, grabbed it, and left.
No.
I was like, Jesus, she didn't
no,
like
but
talk to you for a
it
minute?
wasn't like we came down to the bar, had a pour or anything like that. But yeah, walked them through the bottle, and we gave them a bottle of the maple mix. So
Yeah, you
Yep.
threw that in there.
I threw that in there for them, and then yeah, so there was some goodies in there from Widow Jane Distillery down in New York City. The deer poster, a whole bunch of stuff. Just a little bit of everything kind of related to the hunting and the podcast. So,
Sam says no remote. Back to normal school days.
hey, I like it.
5,000. Bo said he's gonna buy a crossbow. Oh, Sitka gear. Sorry,
I
Bo.
think it's a Sitka
It's like
crossbow is what he's
it
buying.
doesn't. If you own Sitka gear, don't you own a crossbow?
I think that's a requirement.
I'm almost positive that was a requirement.
I think so. I think you have to sign the waiver that says if you buy Sitka, I am also shooting a crossbow
I guess I'm
with
confused
Sitka
there.
camo.
I guess I'm confused there.
Yeah.
Andy, what's up,
Andy, we were
man?
just talking about you, my
Yeah, we were
man.
like, hey, was he here? Must be Jeff message and be like, hey, get on. Andy,
But
what time on the 14th are you guys going to be there to set up early?
or is it just Jeff going to be there setting up?
Or is it just Jeff? Because we wouldn't mind coming in and maybe getting our stuff set up. That way we can pretty much just walk in
Yep. Some
Saturday
of it
morning.
anyway. But yeah. But no, that'll be that's a good time. We'll probably do I don't
Well,
know,
that's where
probably
we
30
met.
heads, I would think.
That's where we met lawn mowing Caleb. Grass slinging, arrow slinging Caleb. I gotta say
Killer.
though, Caleb's been coming to leagues and he has improved. He says he doesn't really notice it, but I think he's just a humble guy. But
The scores have been
I said I've noticed an improvement.
yep, your scores are steady going. Yep. And I mean we all have a bad week here or there too.
I'm going the opposite direction.
Yep. Andy said he'll let us know. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. You the man.
Appreciate it.
Can I reserve a spot for you to score my deer, Andy?
Yeah, can we book time slots?
You know, I want
Specifically with Andy scoring it?
yeah, I want Andy to score my deer.
Like you're booking your haircut.
Yeah.
I want this person to
Yeah.
score my deer.
I want Andy. He scored all my deer, so I just want to keep it going.
Yep. Well, Nate doesn't like me to score it because he says, when I score it, somehow when Andy scores it after we rough score it,
Yours are
Andy
yours are
comes
only
up.
smaller. I think it's because I'm your friend. You're like,
Hey, I don't want to be, accused of being, heavy-handed on the tape. So, but yeah,
What's worse, being light-handed or heavy-handed?
I don't know.
Just be right, Ben. Just be right. Andy's right.
Inch and a quarter better. Andy's right.
Yep, inch and a quarter better. Trust me. Whoever scores it a little better is gonna be the right guy.
Our right guy on the right day. You got it. But that's part of it. You said you said Patches made it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Patches made it.
Yeah, Patches made it. I had a new guy on the block.
Yep.
Andy says I have whiskey too. What are you drinking? You drinking right now, Andy?
I got a little pour in here, and my little baby glass. See my little baby glass? So cute. Um.
Oh no, the wife's trying Ben. Ben's getting bashed.
Ben is even a hustler on the scoring tape. Nothing's for free. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Andy, what are you sipping on, man?
Yep. We're well, Nate's got just a couple. He's had a beer. I got a Bardstown Origin, which I've been really liking these Bardstown. They're making some good stuff nowadays, and this is their own stuff that they're finally coming out with. They were sourcing their stuff, but this is actually from
Well, I gotta.
Bardstown.
Well, if Andy and you, all right. Where's my glass? Pour me a little.
What would you like? Oh, I killed your blade and bow the other day. Sorry.
That's fine. This'll work. Just pour me a little in that.
You want a little of this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry I drank your blade and bow, but
I got blade and bow in the
I needed to
house.
get my last key.
It's fine.
It's hung up behind the
I know, you
whiteboard.
gave me your last key. Now you can. Now
No, I went and got another one
Oh,
so I could get
so
it.
it's here.
Yeah, it's up behind the whiteboard. All the keys set.
Jesus.
It's only a shot glass. Sorry.
All right.
You don't have to shoot it. You can just sip it.
I'm a shooter.
It ain't bird dog, but no. So, yeah, I mean, for projects on the lease, we got a frost seed, the trails, um, trim the stands, check the stands. We got to loosen the straps when we go around and pull cards.
We got to figure out what the farming situation is.
Yeah.
We got to know if we can do a little more.
If it's beans, dude, I'm thinking tons of 100 proof. And there's a couple spots that we thought about putting some new stands or putting some new blinds. And we'll dive into some of that with the whiteboard now that we have it. And we can actually
We have the whiteboard.
we have a whiteboard. And we're gonna have a second camera angle for the whiteboard so we can flop over to it, so you guys can see
100
it.
proof
Camera arm.
special camera arm.
Yep, same one that we film with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, getting the lags in the trees this year, that's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
So we can actually do the filming.
I got all mine in.
I
Yeah,
I need to.
We got. Well, when we go check stands this year, we're just bringing lags.
bring the drill, bring the lags.
You're already climbing up it. Check strap. Just put the fucking lag in it.
Yep, you got it. Zip, zip, done.
You still got the link I sent you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. But yeah, no. Other than that, dude, it's coming into spring, and it's coming quick, dude. It seems like just the other day we were talking about.
I mean, before you know it, we're gonna be talking turkey hunting.
That's coming up. I know I'll
That's
probably
right.
get together with the cartel guys. I know they kind of left us for the working class bow hunter guys.
Yeah.
Bigger platform, I get it. They probably move a lot more calls through them guys.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Tyler and Trent and all them guys will, come hang out with us or let us hang out with them and talk some turkey, and whether we go to the shop or they come here or something, we'll see.
Mhm.
But it looks like they had a great time at NWTF convention.
Mhm.
We'll have to get down there sometime. I'd like to go to Nashville for that at some point.
Breeny, he's always entertaining.
Yep, like those guys a lot. Brought that rare breed last time.
Mhm.
Um, who else are we gonna have on? I was talking to a guy I know talking about the new wetlands project, or not wetlands project, but the new wetlands regulations coming down the pipe. So trying to get a date ironed out with him to have him on the show, whether we'll do it virtually, um, or maybe he'll stop down and we can shoot it here or something. Yeah. Trying to think of what else we got coming up with that. Probably gonna have a couple guests or friends on. Want to have Keith on and actually have an in-depth conversation about like surveying.
Mhm.
And we kind of skipped over Keith. We kind of went over his head that night a little bit. But yeah, I'd like to have him on for an actual like survey specific conversation, because we were talking about
Even if you did like off live
like a pre-recorded one
with them.
I thought
and
about
then
that.
post that if you can't line them up for whatever time. But
Yeah, I kind of, and I'll give you the shout out because you're gonna complain. I know you are. That was something Bo threw out there, and there's definitely some benefits of the pre-recorded. We do like the live show, being able to interact with the folks and answer questions, but that's true. A pre-recorded one, we could get more guests in and stuff like that, and talk some deeper topics, but it takes this Q&A away from it a little bit, which is tough sometimes.
yeah, we're gonna when we get out there and start doing some work, we're gonna do some videos in the field.
Yeah, like I said, I had Hannah shoot a couple for me, probably about 2-3 weeks back now, 3 weeks maybe.
Well, we're thinking in a week or so, you and me are gonna get together and get out,
Yeah,
do some work. We'll do some videos.
I think if we can get an afternoon, after you clock out of work, we get over there and get a few hours in before dark, either a day or two.
Well, what is it? A week or two? We're gonna be gaining an hour of light. So.
That's right. We spring forward. That's right. We do. What day is that?
I think it's second weekend of March.
Probably gonna say 14th.
Yeah.
9th.
9th. All right.
March 9th.
All right.
Yep. 16th is the next weekend. So yeah, so it's Sunday the 9th. Yeah, I think we could definitely get out then. That's the week of the runnings thing. So yeah, already got habitat work scheduled. I have a date night with my wife scheduled, 2 of them actually. And March.
Dates.
2 dates in March. Thank you, family, for watching Nora.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm all excited for that.
You guys going out to dinner?
Ooh, another thing that I got coming up on the calendar for current events, the seed and tree orders for your specific county will be due this upcoming week. So if you haven't got your seed or tree orders in, for like your pollinators, or even if you're getting evergreens even or something like that, Ontario County and Wayne County, both of them are due next week. I think Ontario, I want to say, is the 3rd. I think that's Monday. Then Wayne County is the 7th. You don't need to be a resident of either one of those counties because some of them still have different things in stock than others too. So, um, I got to see what. Yep, Hannah Casino Night. That's right. That's right. You got it. Casino night, date night.
That's at PCC.
Yep. You coming too? Come on, you and me can run the poker table. As long as Kendra doesn't show
It
up.
sounds like fun.
Hannah's probably up there rolling her eyes. What'd Bo say? I missed it. What about a spring scouting podcast? What are you guys looking to make your 2025 hunting season successful? Yeah, setting up um, the ground. Most of the ground, like we don't have many new pieces, but there's some things on the lease we talked about that we want to do. A couple plots, maybe using some of the tillable acres, putting some outlaw plots in, a couple new stands. New stand locations really for a couple pieces. I know I got two over on Grandma's I want to put in at least. New access trails for a couple pieces and spots.
Yeah, I got to work on that.
So it's tweaks and kind of variations and stuff like
Fine
that.
tuning.
Yeah. So just fine tuning stuff. But yeah, we could talk about what about for public land. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can get out there and scout right now. I mean, that's a good point. So maybe we reach back out to Ethan and Taylor and talk to them guys about how they go about hunting the out of state stuff and the scouting ahead of time and what they do, to get ready for that.
So
So
is that what Bo's talking about?
I think so. I think
Is
he's
like
talking about
scouting like public land?
yeah, and kind of the tips and tricks of that. So I'll get a hold of Ethan. I gotta get over and see him anyway. So
I mean, we don't
pick his brain a little bit and see if we can get him on.
we don't really hunt a whole lot of public land.
We don't, but it would be a nice little topic to be able to throw in there here in the
Mhm.
off season. I think that's a good one to talk about. But yeah, I mean, you can get in there right now and see. You can scout areas that you thought about getting deeper into public, or you thought about trying a new piece of public. You can get out there and see what you got for sign, what you got for kind of the habitat and the layout, and just kind of take it with a grain of salt too this time of the year that this probably isn't what you're going to be seeing early season or even like mid season probably in those public land spots. So if you're not seeing a whole lot of fresh sign, but it's let's just say heavy white oak, which are all going to be gone by now. There's not going to be any digging for white oaks, but if you're like heavy white oak and you're more summer kind of cover and area, don't expect to see a lot of deer use right now this time of the year, you know. So don't let that discourage you if you're going into a spot and saying, well, there's not a lot of sign. Or same thing if you hit on some hot sign, might not be the best place to be hunting during the early season necessarily. But looking at those entry and exit routes and specifically going and like you want to hunt this back ridge, let's just say, and it's a half mile plus back or 3/4 mile back from the truck. Um, Actually get out and walk that projected path and see, get a feel for it, and
Mhm.
figure out how you're going to do it. Put an Onyx tracker on, maybe walk out there the first time, and then when you walk back from it, turn your tracker on. And that way, in the morning or whatever, when you're getting into it, you can follow your track back, or vice versa. That way, okay, it might sound simple to go along the edge of the property to get back into that spot. But if there's like a hill or a ravine or something that you can access up through to get through it, you might not see that either on a map. It might be a man-made drainage ditch, dude. We got one at the farm that we're gonna really start utilizing this year over by Deep Ditch.
Mhm.
We're gonna really start using that ditch to cut up in there to hunt that. Now that that new border trail's going in.
Yeah.
So, um, there's a lot of little nuanced stuff that you can do this time of the year. Not beating a ton of brush. All the
That's a good
leaves
thing.
are down.
Now's the time to go check it out.
Yep.
Like to walk through it. I mean, you're gonna get a pretty good idea of deer movement through there,
Yeah.
especially if there's a little bit of snow. Um, you're gonna see how it lays out. You're actually gonna have visibility through the woods.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, that and you can look for historical rubs. You can see some remnants of scrapes now that the snow's coming off. So,
you can, who knows? You might find a shed walking in there.
yep,
And be like,
bonus
oh
shed.
wow, this is the guy.
Yeah.
You pop a camera up.
Yep.
if it's legal in your area.
Yep. Yeah, if it's not, I think as long as it's not federal ground, I think you can have them up, for year-round scouting. I would check with your local, whatever, game land you're
Yeah, I
hunting or
know there's some
whatever.
laws that
But I
change
know the
probably.
federal ground, you're not allowed to run any cameras on. There's no cameras at all on federal property, unless it's for an educational or a research project.
It is educational. I'm learning about the deer. Gotta figure them out.
Just I send this live feed to a third grade classroom, and you took it down. Um, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we got the daylight savings coming up, and then St. Patrick's Day is also coming up.
I mean, that's the biggest thing for public though. Is just scouting. I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think the public stuff right now is especially getting out there when all the leaves are down. You can see it for what it is. It's a great time. It's why I like to do most of my consulting and designing this time of the year is because you can see it really well. Um,
I mean, even going in there and sitting.
well, and I like it too.
Bring your
No ticks.
saddle, bring your climber. Go in there and just sit and watch an afternoon.
Yep, or kind of see where the heck the flow might come
You
from
know,
with deer, or
yeah, just try and get an idea of what's going on in there.
mhm. Yeah, actually
I
picking
obviously
apart.
not don't sit where you're gonna hunt. Sit back where because right now your visibility's so good. You sit back and you kind of scout where the deer are moving and where you might think he's gonna be. Where when that time rolls around and you roll in there and you kind of get an idea of that general area.
Yeah, I think definitely, and especially if like picking out a tree right now is a pretty good time to at least pick out the spot where you want to be
And then if
and
you
be
pick
able to
that
get in
tree
and out of
out,
it.
you can get it prepped for whatever you're doing.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, you might have to take a branch off too, but yeah,
Figure out what side of the tree you're going to put your stand on,
there
Nate,
you go.
with the
There you
prep.
go.
Yeah, figure out what side of the tree you want to face. And
All right.
remember, we talk about it all the time. You're not hunting like this. If you're right-handed, you're hunting like this, right?
Yeah.
How you face your stand is almost as important as where you put the stand, honestly. Because if you don't face it the right way or have to make a ton of movement to turn around to shoot the deer on the other side, it doesn't work out that well. So if you're a left-handed person and you come to hunt my property, you're probably not going to have that many good shot opportunities. Or you got to just wait for them to come all the way through so you can shoot them over here.
Or just face a tree. Yeah.
Or sit, yeah,
Turn
sit,
around.
sit reverse cowgirl on the stand.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Sit on the gun rest.
There you go. There you go.
Well, if you're not a big person.
Yeah. So, well, it hits us right on the 1 hour mark, just under it. Um, Last minute thoughts, plans, ideas. If anybody is interested in seed, get a hold of us. We'll have it here this spring, and it'll still be around for the upcoming fall if we got some left. But
Seed. We got some merch that's gonna be popping here soon. Sam, shout out to Sam. Thanks for what you're doing and all your help. Um, we'll have some T-shirts made up. They're gonna be pre-order. We're gonna have some inventory, but if you have a specific size, I guess I mean you would have to pre-order it, and we'll get something worked up. And we're gonna have some pocket knives with the 100 proof whitetails engraved on the blade. I'm working on both of that. Probably here in the next couple weeks. It's gonna be probably I don't know, what are we thinking? Probably $20 a shirt.
maybe like 25 for the knife or whatever. It depends on how it shakes out.
Yeah,
20, 25. Probably for each, about 20, 25. Figure on that.
on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Everything's just getting so damn expensive, dude. I was looking at what I paid for seed 5 years ago.
it's crazy.
It's gone up. It's double.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
But the knife and the shirts, just get a hold of us if you would like a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and we can get it made up. um, Sam, don't be freaking out, obviously, if you're just doing us a favor this time, but if you want to continue doing that, you just let us know. We'll find someone else to do the amount of orders we do. But
Yep.
let us know color, size, and long sleeve, short sleeve, and we'll get it made up for you. Me and Ben will be representing them on the show.
As soon as they come in.
Once we get them made up, once the knives are done, we'll show them and just PM us and let us know. And then obviously, if you are interested in some seed,
or if you're curious on
get a hold of us.
what might work best for your situation and scenario. I usually ask people, I'm probably the annoying guy, asking more questions about your plot than probably you know the answers to.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure you get the right stuff, the right acreage. And that's huge. If you need 1/3 of an acre or 2/3 of an acre, you just tell me, dude. We'll measure it up and we'll custom mix it specifically for your plot size. Because, and this is another last minute topic, the reason why the seed might be more per acre is because I've already calculated out the seed coating, so you're actually getting the correct amount of live seed in this for your acreage. So it's not like some of these other companies that include the coating weight in the seed for the seeds per acre. This has actually already been calculated out, each specific variety, for how many ounces per pound is actually live seed. So, like for the example of the, so for like the chicory, for example, it's 63% seed. The other additional 27% or 37%, sorry, is coating. So I had to calculate the amount of ounces that is per pound and then increase the rate to get an actual pound of live seed. And that's why, there might be a little bit more than you typically traditionally see on your pounds per acre because I have to calculate the pounds of the volume, but your pounds per acre of seed is the correct amount for that seed variety. So, taking that extra step, making the blend the way it needs to be, and and that's why people might say like why the different amounts, different types of seed, different varieties of seed, like the perennial stuff that's all coated, whereas some of the non-essential legumes are not coated seed typically. So
Samantha, last couple comments here. Samantha says, "No, love it. I can help you guys out. Sam, appreciate it. You're awesome. We'll probably talk to you and Caleb about all that at Nora's party a little bit.
And we might have them by the runnings thing. We might have a few shirts available there. We'll see.
Well, by the runnings thing, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to push Sam.
I don't want to push. Yeah.
Just let Sam. I mean, she's got two. She's
got
you
two
have a
basically
1-year-old.
under 3.
You have a 1-year-old, and I have a 2-year-old.
She's got 2 under 3.
She yeah.
Or 2 under 4.
It might be 4.
I think 4 now.
I think yeah.
Anyway,
but either way, she's
got
2
twice
kids.
as much to handle.
She's got 2 kids. Her and Caleb, they're busy enough.
3. She's got Caleb.
Yeah. Caleb, I think, pulls his weight.
Yeah, I know he does.
But Jeff says I'll talk to you guys about a shirt at the show.
Absolutely. And now that we have the official new name, we won't have contraband editions.
My grandfather still loves his contraband hoodie, though.
Those were awesome. Well, Hannah says Bounce House is going to keep them busy. Yep. Surprise, surprise.
Oh yeah, we got bounce. You guys got a bounce house, and I said we.
A ball pit.
You and Hannah got a ball pit and a bounce house coming.
Kind of like for the party. So
I know Owen's gonna love the ball pit.
Yeah. Well, I know that she missed her shower. Like she was basically born like right before her shower date. Mm-hmm. So Nora wanted to crash her own party. So this is kind of like the baby shower, first birthday, kind of all wrapped together with family, and that's why we're over there and at the old arts center or whatnot having it. But yeah, so thank you all for tuning in. If you're interested in any merch or any of that stuff, get a hold of us or Seed. Have any questions? Be happy to answer them. And if not, we'll catch you probably 2 weeks for episode 60. We're thinking.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe next week. But yeah, I know episode 60 we do want to give a giveaway. We got to figure the giveaway out. Maybe
You'll have to tune in.
Maybe we'll do one of the knives.
Ooh.
If I get them done. So
nice knife. Yep. All right, I could groove on that. Yeah, because if we did what 2 weeks,
Could do a shirt and a knife.
this is true.
Eh. But you have a big inventory of stuff, so
Yep, we got
we'll
some
figure
stuff.
something out. We'll have a nice little giveaway for episode 60. We'll
All right.
figure something out.
Thank you guys all for the support and tuning in and everything like that. Check us out wherever you listen to your podcast, YouTube after the fact, or if you want to tune back in on Facebook, wherever works for you guys, works for us.
Yeah.
And thanks for plugging along with us on 100 Proof Whitetails. See you.
See ya.